Oh, snaps. You got an Airbnb in New York? You losing, my man. You are losing. What's going on, y'all? Hope all is well. Another episode of Combos with the CFP Mario Payne in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. Before we get started, like always, though, like, share, subscribe for that YouTube algorithm. Press those notifications. Also, if you have not picked up my book, check us out. We are a bestseller. I am an international bestselling author. The Relaxed Investor, you can get it on relaxinvestor.com or Amazon. Check out your boy as I'm a bestseller. Yes. But who's not saying yes right now? People in Airbnbs in New York. New York, big city of dreams. When it comes to New York, though, right now, when you're Airbnb, it's a nightmare. I used to no Meek Mill, he's from Philly. But let's look at what's going on with Airbnbs. And if you do have an Airbnb in New York, you might be in some trouble.
New York beginning its crackdown on rentals today, and this could be a biggie. Robert Frank is here to discuss.
Yeah, Kelly, maybe it's 10,000 doors closing when you talk about Airbnb. Wow. They have about 40,000 listings. So
he looks smug, don't he? Man, smug alert.
Say it's going to be 10,000, maybe over 20,000 listings that disappear after today, because today marks the first day that New York will start enforcing this new law, which Airbnb says is a de facto ban on Airbnb. So what it says is you have to be present if you're renting out your apartment. You can't just...
How is that possible? So how am I going to rent something to you and I'll be there with you? Like, that makes no sense. Now, you know who did that? The hotel lobby, right? Your Marriotts, your Hiltons, your Hyatts of the world, they got together. They threw a lot of money to the council people, the councilmen and councilwomen of New York, and said, you know what? You guys are taking away too many jobs. We have cleaners that don't got no jobs no more. We got bellhops, we got valets. Those jobs are going away. So they came up with a way to eliminate Airbnb, y'all.
Rent out a whole apartment and not be there. And so that's what a lot of people do. So you can't do that.
In New York, you get an Airbnb and the owner's not there.
The owner's not there. That's what.
So you mean to tell me in order to rent out my place, I got to be there now? I don't want to be there with you. And you as a guest, you don't want to be there with me. What?
Makes it great. The other problem is that you have to register with the city. Now, so far, the city has only approved 250 applications.
Come on now. Only approving 250 applications? Now, I know government bureaucracy is a mug, but you think they're doing that on purpose? Let's slow down the process. Come on, New York, do better. It's about the corporations, and the corporations win again against little old people like me and you who got an Airbnb who's just trying to make some money.
There are tens of thousands of listings out there. So just to get it approved is difficult. The city doesn't have the staff to approve them, but also there are all these building regulations that you have to go through to get approval.
Regulations. Regulations. Only when it comes to bureaucracy and the government, they're going to regulate you so I could be all cool. My place is fine as a resident. But once I want to rent it out, I got to do more stuff. Ridiculous.
So many people say this is the end of many of the Airbnb listings in New York. And some say 70% of the listings could disappear after.
70%. That means for 10 Airbnbs today, it's going to be 3 in a few months. Man, that is going to hurt the economy when it comes to Airbnbs, but it's going to help the hotel chains. Your Hyatts, your Hiltons, your Marriotts of the world, they're going to have a nice increase in stays in New York, New York.
When you say building regulations, you're talking about city regulations, city codes affecting buildings. And you have to comply with all of these things. And there's a bureaucrat somewhere in the
That's right. And another big part of this is many buildings, co-op boards, condo boards have forbid people from doing this. And once you call the city and say, our building doesn't allow it, even if you apply, you can't get it because the city now has that record of your building not participating in Airbnb, not allowed.
Wow. So who you think is spending that money, right? It's not a coincidence that the city just says, you know what, we're going to do new codes. We're going to allow you as building owners to call us and say no Airbnbs. Why would a person who has a building not want Airbnbs, right? because, of course, people are going to buy things in the building. They're going to rent out. They're going to own. You want that owning a building. If you have people living there, that helps. You get to raise rents. The value goes up, but they're going to call and say, don't do Airbnb. Come on now, man. Come on, big government. I'm not anti-government, but in this case, big government wins again.
Have other cities put in place similar regulations, and what has the experience been there?
Austin, Texas. Y'all next.
This is among the most stringent in the country, but there's been a whole escalating series of regulations. Dallas, Philadelphia, New Orleans just passed recent regulations. And the good news for Airbnb is that people have found a lot of loopholes, a lot of way around it, and they're just not enforced. I mean, is New York City really going to send someone to an apartment and say, oh?
Of course they're not. But definitely this is going to dissuade people from buying Airbnbs, and it's going to hurt Airbnb stock. So as an investor, let's look at Airbnb and see how is it hurting their stock and when could be the best time to buy Airbnb. Let's look at the charts. So here's Airbnb. As we can see, Airbnb has not even been around for 3 whole years. They went public December 2020. Wow, right after COVID, right? 21, 22, now in 2023. So as we can see, it peaked. It peaked and then it went down. It went down by 62%. So Airbnb at $100 went down to basically $40 per share. It's been creeping back up though, y'all, just like everything else. We bought it at its low of $81 a share. Now it's at $155 a share by profiteers. That's an 88% return. So as an investor, the thought process is, what should we do? On one end of the candle, it's going to be a lot of people not doing Airbnb. We don't do Airbnb. Airbnb sales go down. If their sales go down, so does their stock. If that happens, Airbnb can go down as much as 41%, going back to as low as of $80 a share. So if I want to short Airbnb, if I don't believe in Airbnb, it goes down by 40%. My friends, shorting that could be like a 200 to 250% return. Now, it might take about 8-9 months for that to happen, but it could. But for my long-term investors who think Airbnb is going to get it together, this might be a buying opportunity. My profiteers, Airbnb can go up by another 54%, getting back to where it was February 21 before it went down. If that happens, pretty good. Now, I believe if this does happen, it's going to be about another year to year and a half. But are we okay with that? Of course. The market averages about 10% a year. Let's say it takes 2 years. I make 25% a year. I double the market. I can get jiggy with that in my Airbnb that I ain't renting out right now. In the words of Cameron and Mace, it is what it is with Airbnb. If we're shorting it, it's probably going to go down by about 40%. It might take about 9 months for that to happen. If so, we shorten it. We're going to make about 200%. Not too bad, y'all. On the flip side, for my long-term investors, and I am a long-term investor as a certified financial planner, then 54% is the kind of the hit mark. It should take about a year to a year and a half. Let's just say 2 years. So in 2 years, 54%, 25% a year. Not bad. Beating the market. Anyways, though, comment below. We at Airbnb, or we stayed away from the stock? We have an Airbnb. Have we been affected by what's going on with these laws as the government does what the government does? Stifles business and becomes the bureaucrats of all bureaucrats. Anyways, though, love is love. Let's make some paper promise together, y'all. Peace.
Making no money mistakes, make a payment on your bills and you still late, yeah. Pay for profits to help you seek change, and you just wanna get paid, yeah. Tired of making no money mistakes, make a payment on your bills and you still late, pay for profits to help you seek change, yeah. Cut the show and just listen. You wanna feel empowered by making money decisions. Residual by the hours can get you a better living. Bitch at the check, you know, and it could be different.